What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Cullen Gandy here, coming at you with another piece of invaluable advice slash kind of a work story. Sorry I haven't posted in a while. I've been sort of slammed doing my work as a loan originator, as well as doing some singing work too, so I haven't been able to get at you. But today I want to talk about a very important piece of advice, and one that unfortunately all mortgage loan originators come to at one point or another, and it is what to do if your borrower decides to try to pull out in the very last minute. Now, once you start working in this industry as a mortgage loan originator, you are going to find out real quick that one of the best feelings in the world is to be cleared to close, man. Those are the magic words. Those are the ones you want to hear when you're talking to your borrower, because that means that the closing isn't that far and that sale is going to get you that commission. However, if you do it for long enough, you're going to come into contact with certain personalities and certain psychology that is going to bump up against you and against your process, and it's going to cause your borrowers to sort of get spooked and try to pull out last minute. This was the case with me. I had two borrowers like this week, and sort of this can send you into a panic, sort of a fight or flight mode, if you will, trying to grab these borrowers back in from the clutches of defeat. This also happened at the same time to my girlfriend, Anna, who's also a mortgage loan originator, as well as a couple other people in my, in my sales group. So I thought this would be a really good video to do, because this is the point at which you need to know your personality and be able to draw on all of your power to bring in those borrowers from out of the cold. So if you're the kind of person that has worked with people like in HR or any sales position, you're going to know that people are kind of weird and they do things for weird reasons, right? They don't always give you the straight up answer as to why they do what they do. In my case, I had a couple of borrowers that were connected. One was a referral of the other. The person who was referred by the person that we're going to be talking in the first place, we'll call her Jane Doe 1. She pulled out because she said that she found some other lender and she decided to go with them because I wasn't responsive enough to her emails and I would only try to call her. Now, when you're in the course of looking at why people do things, you want to verify everything that's said because you want to make sure you're doing your best practices. So I had the luxury of having a log of all of my email responses to this person. I noticed that not only did I respond in a timely manner every time, answering all of her questions right when she emailed me, but I also followed up on calls on several occasions. Now, for whatever reason, that referral that I got, that woman, just didn't end up wanting to go with me. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't grab her back into my pipeline, right? But I still had the original client. We'll call her Sarah Jones, right? Sarah was still with me. So I thought, oh, okay, well, I couldn't get the referral. For some reason, she flaked out on me. Okay, well, you can't win them all. So another week goes by or two, and Sarah also is cleared to close. She gets scheduled. I send her the final closing documentation, and I give her an invitation to sort of, ask me any questions that she might have about the process. Well, she says at the very last minute, hey, actually, I need to reschedule or whatever. And I was like, that's weird. So I tried to follow up with her on an email and a call, and I never got a sort of a response. And then the next day was the closing. Everything sort of went through, I assumed, because I tried to get in touch, couldn't get in touch, but the notary was supposed to go. So I assumed the notary went and the closing went forward. So cut to 2 days down the line, I get an email in bold and cap letters that says, closing did not happen. Notary went, she decided not to sign the closing documentation for one reason or another, and we're gonna have to reschedule this one. Oh, what's that all about? I was trying to get back to her about rescheduling. She had expressed an interest in that, but then she didn't get back to me. This led to a week-long process of me emailing her. Hey, can we get this loan rescheduled for you? I don't know what the situation was, why you had to reschedule, but I'd love to get this thing done for you, and we can redraw up the documents. Of course, I'm going to explain anything that you need during the course of the closing. After about a week of these emails and calls, she blasts out an email to almost everybody in my pipeline. That is to say, her processor, me, my manager who we had been in touch with, as well as the processing manager. And she started going off of a litany of things saying that I had done, and this is the reason that she wants to no longer work with the company. She's going to go somewhere else. And so this got me thinking, like, wait a second, what is going on here? The referral that she gave me, Sarah, pulled out several weeks earlier for reasons that weren't really panning out, weren't really making much sense. And now she's doing the exact same thing. She had told my team that I had shared her personal information with someone else, which was not true. I had emailed her an application for another woman with her same name, caught it immediately, then conferred with both of them to make sure that we were okay, and we were. So I had done my due diligence, and they had both assured me that it was fine. That way we just disregard it and erase the email. So I hadn't purposefully shared anybody's information with anyone else, but I didn't share her email specifically with anybody else in particular. It was actually the exact opposite. 2, she had cited several of the processes during the clear to close process that she didn't feel very comfortable with, and she didn't feel like she got a very good explanation as to why they were happening, and they didn't happen with her consent. And one of them was the transfer of the name on the homeowner's insurance to our mortgage company, which is totally standard procedure before the closing, because we have to have our company listed on the insurance prior to making an investment in our home. Now, this is the first I'm hearing about any of this. You know me, I'm constantly following up, asking if there's anything that she needs, anything that I can help elucidate or clarify for her. All of a sudden, this is a big problem that she had that she needs to stop participating in this loan about. Now you have a pattern of behavior here. You have the person that she recommended to me pulling out for specious or not very accurate reasons, and now she's essentially doing the same thing. So by process of deduction, what I'm thinking is there's something else about this deal that's causing both of these people to go. They both worked at the same place. They probably had both of the circle of friends that they interacted with. Somebody else is giving this girl a deal that she thought was attractive, and instead of just saying that and letting me try to work with that information, she tried to find some good reason to get an out from the company so that she could pursue this other deal at this late stage in the game. I'm telling you, people do weird stuff, and they do it for weird reasons. As an MLO, you have to have a different kind of intuition, right? As a person, you don't want to impose on anybody to make any decisions after they've already told you what they want to do. But as an MLO, you know on the inside that buyers are liars and that there's something that you're not getting at that's going to be the deal killer here. In this case, I went to our quote and pricing system, saw where she was marked on our loan estimates and closing documents, and then went to Bankrate, which is the place that we get a lot of our business leads from, and saw where she was currently marked now if we were going to re-originate the loan. It turns out that there was a drop in price that month by a 1/4 point, right? So she would have been eligible for a 1/4 point drop if she had re-originated the loan with us. So undoubtedly, some other lender knew that she was in our pipeline, got in touch with her, and the person that she referred to me, and said, hey, we can offer you a better rate now if you switch over and do it with us. Instead of being honest with me, because that's the best way you can get the best deal, she wanted to get out and have an ostensibly righteous reason for getting out. You cannot let them lose focus. So what I did is I screen capped that new price. I went to my manager and I said, listen, I need to save this deal. It's all on the MLO to save the deal at this point. You have to make sure that you impose, right? Fight. Keep the deal, reimpose yourself, ask really what's the thing that I can do that can help clear this loan, get it to close. In this case, I was like, hey, look, I don't really understand why you're purporting all of these things that aren't necessarily true, and I can sort of prove that they're not true by all of our correspondence, which was recorded. However, look, we have a different price on Bankrate that we have available for you. If I can give you that current rate, would that change your mind? Lo and behold, all of these ethical things that she had cited as the reason for her wanting to pull out seemed to wash away. Her thing that she said next was, oh, well, Can you provide a closing disclosure with that rate? She wanted to make sure that I gave her the closing disclosure with that rate so that she would have that rate locked in for her closing. See, that rate was probably more attractive than the rate that the other lender approached her for, even with a buy down, since we don't have any points or origination fees associated with our loans. Well, I was able to clear it with my mentor. I was able to save that deal, and she's still with us. We're rescheduling her and we're going to close her. Please do not let borrowers push you around at the late stages of your game. Try to impose as much as you can. Get outside of your comfort zone, because the very worst outcome is already sort of the baseline outcome, right? They're gonna go, they're leaving, right? So you better put it all on the line so that you can keep that deal and make that money. I hope some of this advice has been really helpful for you guys. I know that, in order to get the clients and to get the leads, you really want to align yourself with the clients and build that rapport. But you do have to know when you sort of have to pop out and really assert yourself and try to keep that deal, right? So if you like educational and informative content and stories like this, please go ahead and leave me a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out immensely with the YouTube algorithm. Also hit that notification bell, because I really want you to be notified about this. I mean, like, this needs to happen. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one, when hopefully we're both a little richer and a little happier. Peace.